Now behind me here is one of my absolute favorite places in the entire city. This is called Paletta Mansion, and I'm at Paletta Mansion Park. Right in front of me is the lake, and I can see all the way to Hamilton to my right here, to the west. And we are in the Shoreacres Neighbourhood in Burlington. Now about 15 years ago or so, this house was boarded up from the early 80s to about, there's some ducks in the background there. From the early 80s to about the mid 90s, this house was boarded up, and they weren't sure actually what they were going to do with it. There was talk of tearing it down, and there was talk of turning it into a museum. There was talk of tearing it down and putting up houses and condos here. But the city was so outraged by it because they really, really respected this piece of history and the fact that everybody could come here and enjoy this park and enjoy the house. Now, the general public can't actually go inside the house, but to be able to take pictures, and it's a very nice backdrop for wedding photos, engagement photos, and they do actually hold weddings here as well. It's just a really neat place in the community that is part of our Burlington history. One of the oldest families who resided in this city was in this house. So it's pretty cool that it's still here, and it's very neat. This neighborhood, Shoreacres, is bordered by the Lakeshore to the south, Appleby Line to the east, Walker's Line to the west, and New Street to the north. Now, in this neighborhood, there's actually no shopping and no amenities whatsoever. That's not to say there's not any close by, because there are lots close by up on New Street. But this neighborhood is very, very much a family-oriented, residential neighborhood, very quiet, beautiful scenery here by the lake. There's lots of creeks feeding into the lake in this neighborhood, lots of trees, lots of walking paths, and this neighborhood boasts lots of beautiful older homes and big trees and large properties as well. There are quite a few lakefront properties in this city as well, and I'm actually just going to turn the camera so you can see some of the houses here on the lake. So just behind me here we've got some beautiful houses that back onto the lake, and Burlington is actually one of the only cities in the GTA, in the Greater Toronto area, that has lakefront property where you actually own the property right up to the lake. For example, in Oakville, you may own the property, but then there's a pathway between the lake and you. There's a public pathway. And in Hamilton, there's no lakefront property either. This is one of the only cities in the GTA that you actually own the property right up to the lake, which a lot of people like because they have their own private lakefront access. Now this city, Burlington, is very, very cool because we do offer a lot of parks on the lake, but the ability for people to actually own a piece of the lake themselves is very much desired.